Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to check the Python documentation. There may be instances in which you may be stuck and you may be wanting to refer to something in the docs. So the beauty with Python is that through the interactive shell you can be able to view whatever documentation you may want. So what I'll do is to open up my terminal. So I'm using Bash because I'm on Ubuntu. But the same thing will apply if you're using something like, let's say, CMD or PowerShell. So what I'll do is to come and open the terminal. So I'm going to open my Bash terminal. And what I'll do is to call my Python interpreter. So this is going to open up an interactive Python shell. Now I have to enlarge it so that you guys can see. So I'm going to enlarge this. Now what I'm going to do is to call the help function. And once I call that help function, then it says welcome to Python. So this is Python 3.8 and this is Python 3.8 is help utility. So you understand, like, if this is first time using Python, you should definitely check out the tutorial and enter the name of any module, keyword or topic, writing Python programs and using Python modules. To quit, just type quit. So basically what you can do is to type in a module. For example, let's say I'm on coding Flask, and let's say I have this kind of confusion about a certain class in Flask or a certain module within Flask. I can be able to just type Flask, and within this help console I can be able to get the documentation of Flask. So for example, you can see the package components such as the app module, the blueprint module, CLI, config, context, debug, globals, helper, JSON, and so on. So you can even be able to see the different documentation of whatever you may want. So for example, let's say we wanted to access a particular module in Flask. For example, let's say Flask dot blueprint. So this is basically going to return documentation for Flask. Actually, this is Flask.blueprints. So you can be able to see the documentation about Flask blueprints. For example, the class blueprints and whatever attributes that class has, and the different documentation that you may have for that particular class. So let's say I wanted to search for the Django REST framework. So I quit that by pressing Q. So let's say I wanted to read about the Django REST framework, and let's say I wanted to say Django REST framework. So if I open this, we can be able to see the banner. You can't see it well, so let me kind of reduce. So right now you can see the banner of Django REST framework, as well as the different package components, the different modules found within the Django REST framework. So you can see things like apps, authentication, auth token, checks, compact, decorators, documentation, and so on. So you can go ahead and read the various documentation. Now let's say I wanted to read about authentication. So I'll quit this, and then what I'll have to do is to say REST framework. So this is going to be REST framework dot authentication. So right in here, we can be able to access the different classes that are talking about the authentication in Django REST framework. So this is kind of helpful, as you do not require to have a packet to go to the internet or download documentation, while you can just go ahead and read it from your terminal or your command prompt. In this video, I've shown you how to basically go ahead and read the documentation using your Python interactive shell. Thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye.